now that I have an adequate gaming surface, I need to kind of get my butt in gear as far as getting my terrain to match. As you saw in the previous battle report, the terrain was not quite up to par, and that's my fault, and I apologize. So I'm going to do my best to try and get caught up here and get some of these things matching my little tabletop sections I created for you in the previous video, and then we can actually have some decent looking battle reports. Then it's just a matter of having all the models caught up as well. So as you can see here in front of you, I have the GW Moonscape. It consists of 5 craters of various sizes. I have these other 3 models here to include a Terminator, Dreadnought, and a small troop choice, just to kind of give you a little comparison in size for those of you that may not be familiar with these. As you can see, one of them was already attempted to be painted in the past. Really didn't like the way it came out, and obviously it doesn't match my terrain scheme right now, as that is black and the crater here is brown and green. So that's going to end up getting made over. I'm just going to paint over it when I spray these. And what I'm going to do that is I'm going to use the Krylon Dual Paint Primer Black in flat. Just like the tabletop here, and the same color as the bases on my Tyranids and Chaos Space Marine Army. So these are just going to, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get a coat of that paint on here. So the next couple videos I do on terrain, I'm just going to kind of focus on one set of terrain pieces or piece and kind of go along with you and show you how I paint them. Being that they're going to be based in primarily black, it's not going to take too long. It's going to be fairly easy to do. May take a little bit longer if you're doing something fancy like snow or grasslands or something else, but still not very difficult. It's just on a larger scale than a small model, so instead of a lot of fine details, you're going to have a whole larger area that you're going to need to cover and work on, and try not to miss a bunch of stuff. So I wish that can be easy to do, and it can be very time consuming with such a large piece. So the first step that I'm going to take in getting these prepared for you is I'm going to go ahead and get them sprayed with the coat of that dual primer paint, and then when I come back we'll jump into the rest of it and get these things up and running so we can get them on the table. Alright, so we're back here with one of my craters. Being that I want the main color to be black, it's kind of difficult to go too much with other colors on here, so I'm only going to end up actually dry brushing 2 different colors on here, and I'm just going to kind of leave it at that just to keep it kind of simple, and it's still going to have the same effect that I'm looking for. So the first color that I'm using is Reaper Cloudy Gray. It's 09089. And then the second color I'm going to use is also Reaper Paint. It's Leather White 09062. So I've shown you guys how to dry brush in one of the previous videos, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that and speed up the video a little bit so you can see it kind of add the color on there. And then before I put the second color on, I'll give you a little closer view of the crater. So as you can see, it's just a little bit of faint dark gray all around the edges of the crater, just to kind of make the details pop a little bit. Kind of just showing that the surface dirt that may have been black was disturbed some, brought up some of the other colors from underneath, which is just at this point gray. So again, very basic. So then all I'm going to do is just put a little bit of the leather white dry brushed on there around the edges and down into the crater. Alright, so I just put a little bit of the leather white in the center there of the crater, and then just around the edges kind of coming down into it. So just trying to kind of give it that effect like there was actually an impact and it kind of blew everything out of the center of it. So I just left this all the plain black. We've got our dark gray dry brushed around the edges, and then just in here in the very center is the leather white. Very, very simple, yet it still kind of has a nice look to it, especially on the black table. Again, black kind of absorbs a lot of the details, so you got to use something to bring it out without kind of detracting from the black. So that's why I decided to go with the dark gray. Now I may have to go over it again on the outside in just a couple areas, but other than that, it's basically looking exactly like this. I'll probably take a couple still shots of it just so you can see it maybe a little bit better if the camera's not quite picking up like it should. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.